Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacconiana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home.
Today we have a vintage Imco Triplex Super 6700 semi-automatic petrol lighter. This is a lighter that I have used for a good while now, several months, probably 6-8 months, something like that. But it had gotten set aside. I sort of lost it for a little bit, hadn't used it. But when I did use it last, I realized that this lighter may work much better if you take one simple variable into consideration. It's a lighter that I picked up on eBay. I believe it was slightly used, still in the box, and I think I paid $5. I think it was like $4.90 something that I paid for it, or not tax, but shipping included. These lighters are so cool because once you light them, then you can pull that wand or candle out of there, and you can use that to light your bowl, whatever the case may be. You install the Flint in these lighters by depressing that little notch on the back side and pulling up. When you pull that up, then you reveal the Flint mechanism, which, when retracted, you can see how that spring places the pressure upward onto that Flint against the flywheel. Good spark, and we will take our wand out, which really no reason to take it all the way out necessarily. Just take the top off of it, or the bottom. The top, as we have the lighter inverted here. And we will fill it with petrol fuel. One dropper full. Two. 3, and that wadding looks like it is still drinking that fluid up. Can't remember now, I lost track while I was talking. I think that was number 4. There's number 5. Let's just see. That is not a huge tank, so let's just see whether that will be sufficient or not. Well, we certainly had some fumes up there. And it lights on the 3rd attempt. So we will just top that off with one more dropper. Set our fluid to the side. Cover over our tank and the tank back in the lighter. And light right up. Now, one thing that you might want to take into consideration is that I did not have this lighter typically with the windscreen open. It's probably just whatever position I had left it in from fidgeting with it, unless the function of the lighter had made me believe that I needed to open that windscreen. which I don't remember doing more than just a few occasions when I was outside. I think that the majority of the time that windscreen was probably closed. With that windscreen closed, there it ignites on the second try. But it will definitely be a smaller flame than you will have with the windscreen open. Opening up the available fuel will give you a bigger flame. But it will also affect the efficiency with which this lighter ignites. Or at least it seems to me as though it was. Maybe not. Maybe I have just been caught with the lighter with low fuel in the past and then it not wanting to light with that windscreen closed. Lighter's heating up already. And that's one thing that is definitely a negative about this particular lighter. That snuffer gets hot. Not just the snuffer, but the windscreen around it gets hot as well. So something to consider if you're going to be using your Imco 6700 Triplex Super to ignite joints and other things that require you keeping them down there on that flame for a considerable amount of time. With most commercially produced cigarettes, that flame right there would be just fine. Within just a second, you would have your lighter, or I'm sorry, not your lighter, but your cigarette lit and you'd be walking down the street puffing on it. But when it comes to lighting certain other, like I mentioned, joints, definitely if you were going to try to light a blunt or anything of a more substantial nature, you would want to make sure that you open up the end of it, have your product exposed rather than trying to suck that flame through heavy paper or tobacco leaves or whatever it is that you've got your cannabis product wrapped with. But I was attempting to show here that this lighter ignites much better with the windscreen open, but it appears as though it's lighting just fine with it closed. So I don't know, maybe my experiences in the past where I thought it would ignite better with it open, maybe the fuel was lower, maybe it was windier outside. I'll let you guys ponder that and determine whatever you will from it. But as you can see here today, as we sit here in the apartment in Deep Deuce of Oklahoma City on a low 80s degree day in October of 2024, even with this windscreen up, this lighter seems to be lighting, if not every time, practically every time. Until next time.